These are going to talk about rational equations. Now we have rationals and radicals. This problem is separated into two different problems. This particular one will be talking about radicals. These are with our roots. In these problems, you've got to remember to check the answers because one of them may not be true. It may be true, but it may not be true, and you don't want to include an incorrect answer. So here we have a square root of 3x plus 1. Now this one's already separated from everything else. If it wasn't, you'd want to have the rooted term on a side by itself. First thing, to get rid of a rooted term, you're going to square it. But if you square this side, you have to square this side. Now that means you're going to square this side as a whole. So then you're having 3x plus 1 and the whole thing squared equal to x minus 3 and the whole thing squared. This will cancel out your square root and you'll be left with 3x plus 1. This you're going to have to FOIL. Alright, so 3x plus 1 equals x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9. Well, we have a quadratic. That means everything on the left here I'm going to move over. We're going to set it up. X squared, this 2 combined here and here, will be minus 6x plus 9. Then we're going to subtract the 3x and subtract the 1. And it's going to equal 0. So we'll combine the x terms again. X squared minus 9x, then 9 minus 1 plus 8 equals 0. Once we get down to this point, we're going to see if we can factor it. Well, factors of 8, multiples of 8, would be 8 times 1. If they were both negative, 8 times -8 times -1 equals 8. -8 plus -1 gives me -9. Again, this x term just has a 1 in front of it, no other coefficients, so we can use these two numbers as our factors. X minus 8 times x minus 1. We're going to set each one of these factors equal to 0. This gives me x is equal to 8, and x minus 1 equals 0 gives me x is equal to 1. So that's two possible answers. But to be sure, I must check each answer. So let's check x equal 8. So we're going to put it into our original equation up here. So I'm going to have the square root of 3 times 8 plus 1 and see if that equals the, 8 minus 3. Alright, so this 3 times 8 is 24 plus 1 would be 25. And does that equal 8 minus 3? 8 minus 3 is 5. Square root of 25 is 5. So that one works. So right now, we know this is an answer. So I'll box that one. Now I'm going to check x equal 1. Okay, so I've got the square root of 3 times 1 plus 1. Does that equal 1 minus 3? Well, this will give me the square root of 4. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Square root of 4 is 2. Does 2 equal negative 2? No. So this one is not a correct answer. Just the 8. Very, very important. Make sure you check your answers to know what's correct and indicate which item is the correct answer.